Ladies and gentlemen, friends, welcome to another round of if statement. Uh, Microsoft Excel is a very exciting subject. I'm very passionate about Microsoft Excel. Uh, this is my second video on the if statements. Last video I covered the basics of an if statement, how to apply an if statement. In this session, I'll cover how to apply a nested if statement. But before I do that, I'd like to give you a refresher on how to apply an if statement first, and then we'll slowly move on to how to apply a nested if statement. So let's say you have a very simple condition here. Madan Kumar is a guy who scored so many marks in these many subjects. So how do you really know if he has passed or failed? Yeah, so how do you know whether he's really passed or failed? One way would be to look at his marks. So let's say the passing criteria is more than 33 marks. So simply you can write here. You can write pass. You can write fail, and then you can write pass, and so on. But you would not like to do this manual work for thousands of lines of data, would you? So let's do a smarter job. Let's use an if statement. So let's say if, very simple. So what does if statement requires two things. One is the range. So you type in the range. If it is more than or equal to 33, oops, simply say pass. Else, remember, every time you write a text as a condition, you need to put it within the commas. Otherwise, Excel will not recognize it as a text. So if you say I've used it, but I've not put in a comma here. Before I put in a condition, I need to put the first condition. If this result is satisfied, I get a pass. If it is not satisfied, if this condition is not satisfied, I get a fail, right? So this is a very simple if statement. Range, test, critical test, result if the condition is satisfied, result if the condition is not satisfied. And I press enter, and I simply drag it, and this is what you get. If I simply increase this, you get, if I grab it below, say fail. Now let's say I don't want to use this text. So what is the other option I have? I can use my cells as my conditions. How do I do that? I don't need to write pass and fail again and again. I can simply put, if my condition is satisfied, then this is my result. If the condition is not satisfied, then simply this is my result. But before I drag this, what I need to do is I need to freeze these values. Okay? And I also need to freeze I3 and I4, otherwise it will not take it. Oops. Sorry. Right. So if I just simply drag this, so this is what you will get. Right? If I say, if I change the criteria here, it'll get changed. I can change the criteria here. So you see, I didn't have to write that text again and again. I can simply change the text in the cells, and it'll automatically get changed here. So let me just give you another example of using a statement. Let's just go down. Let's say uh, someone created a game, and where people had to keep nicknames, and in that nicknames nobody could have more than 4 characters of more than 5 characters. So the maximum number of characters that you could use was 5, a length of 5 characters. Now let's have a, now what you can do is you could simply just put if you need to find out the number of characters, you can just use a formula. It says length of the text, it will simply give you the length. Now, and then I could say, okay, and here I would again just copy paste this, and I would say not okay. But is this the right way of doing that? So let's do a smarter job. It simply gives us the result in one go. So it simply say if the length of this character, right, is more than 5, what is the result that I get is okay. Otherwise I get not okay, right? Oops, I need to give a space here, so let's go. So what I get is not okay. So I think we just went the other way around. We should have put it as less than 5, sorry. So if you see, wherever we have less than 5 characters, it simply says okay, right? So very simple use of if statement. Now how do I write a nested if statement? Now here, let's say we have got these many people, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people, and I need to I need to basically describe how tall they are. So management decides that if a person whose height is between 6 and 7 feet would be called very tall, if a person whose height is between 5 and 6 feet would be called tall, between 4 and 5 would be called short, and between 3 and 4 would be called very short. So how do you actually write an if statement that describes all these people, describes the height? So you could simply say if, oops, I'm so sorry, if range is less than, or let's say range is more than 6, right? What is the result that we get? Very tall, right? Right? Is that the condition? Between 6 and 7 is what you get is very tall. Uh, I'm not putting a condition here for more than 7 feet because you generally don't have people going above 7 feet. I'm sure you would have seen some people, tallest man in the world, going above that, but let's not consider that for now. So we say 6 is very tall, uh, and then we go to we need to apply the next statement. Now, if we had two statements, we could have immediately, it had been a simple if statement, we could have put another condition. But now we've got multiple conditions. So we start with another if statement, which says if. So if the condition is satisfied, it says very tall. But if the condition is not satisfied, it will move on. It will move on to the next if statement, which says if this person is more than 5 feet tall, he would be called, oops, we need to put a comma and then we need to put the condition, right? So he would be called tall, right? Now, let's just expand this for your, just one condition. Okay, he would be called tall, right? Now, let's say even this condition is not satisfied, then we move on to the third condition. Let's say this person is more than how many? 4 feet. And what is the result you get? You get short. Just remember that each time you do this, you need to put is text, right? Short. Now, if even this condition, you go on to the next statement. If again this person is more than, sorry, even if this person is more than 4 feet, sorry, 3 feet, the result you get is very short. Remember, all conditions you need to put in text. All text you need to put in commas, otherwise not take it. Now, how many brackets did we make? One. So we need to close one bracket. We need to close the second bracket, and then we need to put an if here as well. We need to close this 1, 2, 3. Because we had 4 conditions, you need to keep 4 brackets. So it's just short. So I'll just repeat this because it didn't come in one line. So let's just repeat this very statement. If B14 was more than 6, this condition would be satisfied. But if this condition is not satisfied, it will move on to the next condition, which says if B14, if this range was more than 5, it will be called tall. If this condition is even not satisfied, it will move on to the next condition, which says if this condition is more than 4, it will be called short. But even if this condition is not satisfied, it will move on to the next condition, and until it will move on to this condition. So we have taken this range because we know that generally people height basically range in this range only. So when we drag this, this is what we get. If I, let's say if I increase this 6, it's called tall. If I make it 6.5, it becomes very tall. Now let's say I don't want to write all this text, right? Because it's kind of very very cumbersome to write all this text. What I can do simply do is I can replace all this text by cells. Because it's kind of very cumbersome to write the text again and again. But before, so this is what I get. But before I really drag this around, I need to freeze the formulas, right? What I can do is I need to freeze 14th row here, right? And of course I need to freeze this because this is the first condition. Again I need to freeze the 14th row, and I need to freeze the second condition, right? Again I need to freeze the 14th row, and I need to freeze the third condition. Again I need to freeze the 14th row, and I need to freeze the fourth condition. Oops, sorry. And then this is what I get. I hope I have freezed the formulas well enough. So I just get a result. Give me the same result as any other good result. So here I get is very tall. If I make this as 3, I get is false. So why do I get this as false? So let's just investigate. Why did I get this as false? So did I really give a condition as to when it is equal to 3? I said more than 3. So I have not given a condition when it is equal to 3. So if I give this condition, if I just put equal to, or I will get, oops, sorry, is equal to 3, I get very short, right? Oops, I dragged the same formula again and again. So what I need to do is I can make this as 3.5 because people are generally not 3 feet tall, they're more than 3 feet tall. That's fine. So I get is very short. If I put a 2 here, I get a false because I have not provided a condition as to when the person is 2 feet tall. I don't need it, so I have not provided it. But if I need a condition here, I have to put that condition here in the if statement, right? I have to provide that condition here somewhere in the next if statement. But I don't need that, so I have not provided that, right? Let's just make it 4 and let it be very short. So this is how you make a nested if statement. Uh, guys, I'll be covering more if statements in next videos. I'll be covering simple if, I'll be covering simple if or, I'll be covering simple if and. Please give your feedback whether you like my video or whether I go too fast, whether I'm going too slow, or you want me to be more helpful. If you're struggling on any of the Excel topics, not only of the if statements, please let me know. I'm an Excel expert and I'll be able to help you right then and there. Please write your comments. Let me know where I can help you do your best. And if you're really struggling with Excel anywhere, don't feel low. Just reach out to me and I'll be able to help you there. Thank you guys. Thank you. I'll cover rest of my topics in next video.